Hey there, I am a young innovator named Prajwal and I'm studying 8th grade at BGS National Public School, and I have come up with the innovative solution called the automatic scrubbing brush. So this is how the model works. So this is basically the electric bathing brush, or also known as the automatic scrubbing brush. So this is the main control unit. As you can see here, that's a small monitor here, which displays the values and then also displays the battery percentage and whether it's connected to Bluetooth or not. And then there's the dial here, the potentiometer, which is the main part of this entire, which controls this entire thing. So based on how many degrees this is turned, there's a signal that's sent to the buy box turn, which then controls these motors on the model itself. And the LED also plays a crucial role, which indicates the amount of power that's been supplied. So if the knob or if this potentiometer is slightly turned, the LED is dim, and as it is turned more, the LED becomes brighter, indicating it's turning at a higher speed. So without further ado, let's see how this works. So here I'm keeping this down so that I can use it, and then now I'm going to be turning the potentiometer. So this is the model. So this is the brush of where the person can be scrubbing, and there's a small pad, there's a small plate that's connected to it to keep it to hold it in place, and then there's also this holder here. So this is removable and you can dismantle it and keep it very safely too. So without further ado, let's see how it works. So this is currently turning at a very low speed. As I've turned the potentiometer very slightly, I'm going to turn it a little more. So now it starts spinning at a higher rate, at a higher RPM. And now if I turn it completely, it starts spinning at a very rapid rate, which is when you want to really scrub yourself, and then it spins at a higher RPM. And then you can also make it spin anti-clockwise by turning the potentiometer to its max. Hence it spins anti-clockwise, and you can make your own combinations like this too. And as I mentioned, this entire part is dismantleable, so you can take out this scrubbing brush from this too, so you're exposed with the axle here, and then even this wire you can disconnect it from the main module. So all you're left is with this main part, then this module, and then you're left out with this brush. And well, my future plan with this would be to maybe increase this handle size so it's more grippy to hold, and also to make it a little shorter and add the electronics completely into this. So I can use the lithium ion battery cells that you get, which are circular in shape, which should fit in just very snugly in here. And also smaller parts such as the Arduino Uno and a custom PCB that I would like to design. Well, I also plan to make an extender for this, so the main handle would be quite short, so the elderly can easily hold it, but just pulling the handle out or an inner element out would increase the handle size or the complete width itself, which would make it easily accessible for all the parts and would help the elderly the most, because it would help them reach their back, etc., which was very hard before. So yeah, that's the complete plan and also my future goals about this project. And well, basically for making this project, here's how it looks inside. So currently this is just, since this is a POC or a proof of concept or an aka a prototype, it's not completely done. So here, if you can see, that's the electronics, the core parts. So here you can see the buy box turn, and then this is the LED which I mentioned about. So it's connected through this aux cable, aux type of thingy. And then here, this is the potentiometer which controls the spinning of this motor and this LED. So it sends a signal, again connected with that same aux part. And yeah, so I've also used some not very rigid parts here, since this is a prototype as I mentioned earlier. And you can access the power switch, the motor, the USB charger, charging port, and the motor switch through these holes that are made on the bottom. So as you can see here, and there's this transparent thing through which you can see this monitor, and basically just connect this LED. And then I also have a program which will be on your screen right now, And then speaking of this is a PVC pipe. So I've tried to make the best out of waste for this prototype. So this is a PVC pipe that was lying around my home, and then this is the mini gear motor that came with the buy box turn think kit itself. And if you can see, this is the wheel, and this is the brush, and this is actually the wheel of the buy box turn think kit without this rubber part sticking to it. And this is just a wire, which I think would not be required in the final prototype or in the final model, since all the electronics would be fit into the handle itself, and the handle would be much thicker, a little bigger, and I also aim to make it lightweight. So yeah, and well, how is this entire model useful, and how is it especially useful to the elderly? Well, it's useful to the elderly because most of the elderly or the aged people, they don't have a lot of energy in them, and they often feel the tasks of bathing and maintaining hygiene hard, which also makes it boring. And this is a very dangerous thing, especially during these COVID times, during this pandemic, because hygiene has been #1 priority. And I think the electric scrubbing brush would help them in a really great way to maintain their hygiene, as it would work on the stored electrical energy, and they would not need to use their muscular force in order to clean themselves. This is me, Prajwal and Edge, signing off. Thank you.